Before we dive into today's film, I want to be very open with you. I thought and thought about making this video for a very long time. I understand that for many people, this story isn't just a story, it's a sacred one. And I want to be respectful as much as possible. However, I also believe in the importance of being able to judge a film for what it is. We live in a free society where we can appreciate the craft, the narrative, and the artistic choices of a director, regardless of the subject matter. This is the very first video of my new weekly series. Every Tuesday, I'll be talking about an older film, and for this week, I chose The Passion of the Christ. Because, well, Easter is just right around the corner. When you watch this movie, you can immediately sense that the people behind it were believers. And I don't say that as a negative thing at all. In fact, it adds a layer of palpable respect and veneration. One of the elements that stayed with me the most is the representation of the devil. It is one of the most haunting portrayals I have ever seen on film. The choice to make Satan a constant lingering presence who actually does very little is brilliant. He doesn't need to scream or jump, he just simply watches. He just watches as humanity makes the mistake of condemning an innocent man to death. In fact, we only see the devil actively intervene twice. Once in the opening scene, trying to tempt Jesus during his prayer, and later when he drives Judas towards his breaking point, if we can call it madness or simply the crushing weight of his own actions. This silence makes the character feel far more dangerous. Even though we all know this story, I'm always deeply moved by the role of the women within it. While most of the men in the film seem to be wanting a sign or a miracle before they truly believe, often only realizing the truth after Jesus' death when they feel the wrath of God, the women seem to see him much earlier. It's as if they are the true custodians of the truth. They don't need the earthquake to know who he is, they just do. For me, the most heartbreaking and beautiful character of this whole film is Mary. She suffers the worst fate any mother can endure, accompanying her own child to his death. She is a woman who knew this was coming, a witness to the extreme brutality of men, but also the immense goodness of her son. Now I want to pivot to the things I didn't appreciate as much. The parts where the film lost me a little. First, I'm gonna talk about Judas. He is a key character, not just for the whole story to begin, but for the entire Christian message. Judas betrays Jesus. Yet, according to Jesus' own teaching, a true follower should be able to forgive even him. I really wanted to see more of his descent into madness. I felt they could have pushed harder to make his death a truly dramatic moment for the audience. I wanted the film to challenge the Christian watching it, to make them ask themselves if they could find pity for the men who sold their savior. It felt a bit rushed. I feel like they missed a chance to ask a very powerful question to the audience. My second critique is a technical one and is a very personal one. I don't like slow motions in movies. And in this film, there are so many slow motion scenes. For me, every time the speed drops, I am pulled right out of the experience. Instead of making the moment feel epic, it reminds me that I am watching a movie. It breaks the immersion and the raw realism that the rest of the film works so hard to create. Before I end this video, I want to say something. This is my personal take on the film. I have nothing against Christianity, Catholicism. This is just my personal take on the film. I've tried to be as respectful as possible in sharing my thoughts on this film, and I hope that it comes across. The Passion of the Christ remains a powerful, polarizing, and deeply artistic piece of cinema, regardless of where you stand on its message. But now I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this film? Please, please be kind. This whole channel is just my opinion on things, and I am open to discuss them. I'm open to people that tell me that they don't think what I do, but let's be kind. Let's discuss why someone doesn't agree with me instead of just assuming that you are in the right and I'm in the wrong. If you enjoyed this first episode, please consider subscribing so you don't miss the next week deep dive. And I'll talk to you in the next video.